Hey guys, my name is Antonio, and today I'm talking about the $5,000 I spent on Facebook ads over the past year or two, and I really try to boil it down to 5 things that I learned from it. There's a lot of nuances to it, but I really wanted to give you guys 5 things that I thought, ugh, stuff in my eye. Wanted to give you guys 5 things that I really think are good takeaways that I don't think you'll have heard from other people. These are gonna be detailed Facebook specific advertising tips. So subscribe to the channel if you like content like this. I'm going to be probably doing more marketing advertising type stuff just because that's what I enjoy. So the first tip is to go for engagement. I've tried the other, when you have an option to create an ad, it gives you what's your goal? What are you trying to achieve? And you can try to achieve, if you're doing apps, you can do app installs. You can do, drive traffic to your website. You can do, drive sales on your website. Those, basically the best goal that I found, the best way to create an ad is just looking for engagement. All you want is people to like the post, to comment on the post, and to subsequently like your page. That's it. The whole reason why you want to do that and not the traffic stuff or the app install. I mean, you could do the app install. I'd never try the app install stuff, but I'm assuming that's also way too expensive. Driving traffic to your website, very expensive. If you're just shooting for engagement on Facebook and Instagram, engagement is cheap. So much so that it really eclipses any of the other types of ads. There were times where I was paying, and this is no joke, I was paying, because it was an engagement ad and it was a good ad, which I'll get to in a second, I was paying as low as 0.004 cents per engagement, not per impression, per engagement, which was the best one I ever ran, and I ran that one into the ground because it was good. But anyway, it'll keep your costs super low, and then you can build the funnel out from there, but just get the engagement. It's so damn cheap. Okay, tip number 2, don't try to sell in your ad. So in other words, when you're building the actual ad itself, the content, the picture, or the video, I did mostly picture ads, because I find them to be cheaper and still just as effective as video, depending. There's a lot of nuances again, but I did a lot of picture ads. Don't try to sell. Don't put in your ad, and the actual text, don't say make sure you pick up la da 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 da, or stuff like that. You don't need that in there. Again, you're not going for the sale. That's not your goal. You're going for the engagement. So what you want to do is put text, either the text that's in the content image itself or the text that's in the post. You want to put stuff that makes people laugh or think, or it grabs their attention for one reason or another. Not, here, buy this, or any other thing that you're probably feeling compelled to put in there because you feel like you need to squeeze every little bit of whatever out of the ad because you're paying money for it and you want to see your return. A Facebook user doesn't care about that stuff. They're on there to be entertained. So entertain them with your ad. If your image doesn't even need to have text, if you can do some Instagram kind of cool photo, that stuff does really well. Doesn't even need any text at all. And then in the text part of the post, put something catchy or something funny, or whatever you put on your personal Facebook or your personal Instagram, put that in the ad, and it will play. It plays basically as if it's a post, and people will treat it like that, which means more engagement for you. This is not the time to close. It's the time to add brand new people into the beginning introduction of your funnel. It's not the time for you to actually get the sale. Tip number, not 2, 3. Tip number 3, I touched on this one a tiny bit earlier. Instagrammy type stuff does better. When it comes to selling products on the internet, you may have this urge to like white out the background of your product photos, like as if, you know, the way you see product photos on Amazon, for example. You want everything to look professional and make it look like you're a big business that you know, has high production quality. That's all BS. You do not need any of that stuff. Stop doing that if you are doing that, because that does not resonate with people on Facebook. What resonates with people on Facebook is stuff that looks like artsy fartsy Instagram type stuff. So literally, if you don't know what I'm talking about, or if you don't know what to do, if you have an Instagram account and you've been posting kind of cool artsy product photos, literally just snag one of those and make it into an ad on Facebook. You don't have to do that. Literally, you don't have to create any new content. You've already been creating content on Instagram. If you haven't done that yet, take your product outside, set it on a rock, or whatever your product is, put it in a setting that's kind of cool, or if it's clothing, get a hipster to wear it, take some cool photos with different backgrounds, and then just Snapseed the crap out of it. If you don't have Snapseed, download that, that's free. And then you make that into your ad on Facebook. And again, back with the catchy tagline that goes with it. Perfect. And while we're on this, I want to talk about specifically about text on your Facebook ad. Be careful with it. The rule of thumb, or I think the actual official rule, is no more than 20% of the image in an ad can contain text. And that doesn't mean the amount of text, meaning you could put a paragraph or you could put one word, but if by volume it's more than 20%, so if we're looking at the frame here, if your text, it could be a single word, but it's taken up this much space on your image here, it's gonna get rejected. But if you're gonna put some text on there, be minimal with it, think YouTube thumbnail type of thing, and don't the 20% of the image. I can't even tell you don't do that, because if you do it, your ad's gonna get rejected. So be mindful of that. All right, tip number 4, guys. Targeting the right audience is tricky, but there's a way to get around it without breaking your bank. So what you want to do is you want to take whatever ad that you've posted most recently, however it's done, and you want to try to iterate on it. Let's just say you have one image that did somewhat decently in an ad. So you want to take that and make it into 3 new ads with different ad sets, and an ad set is basically an audience that you've designed specifically to target. So you take that one image, and then you're going to do 3 different ads with it, and each of these ads having a different ad set targeting a different audience. And if you can do this super cheap. You don't have to, you can put more money into it, but these are for the folks that are just getting started, so I recommend you keep your budget pretty low while you're learning. $3 a day per ad. $3 a day, that's it. I did this a ton. It's easy to do. If you're a founder, you don't have to think much about it. You basically barely have to factor it into your marketing budget at all, and you're gaining knowledge from it, which is super helpful. So what you're gonna do is, with each of these 3 ads, different targeted audiences, you're gonna measure for a couple of days, 20 bucks total. If you do it for 2 days, $3 an ad each, that's just really only what, like $18. And then you're gonna see, each one should have a relevance score by then, which we'll talk about relevance in a second. But that should get you a relevance score. And you can see which of those 3 pop, which of those 3 really get real traction, get real engagement. And then you want to iterate from there, and so take the favorite of those 3 and create 3 new ads based on that favorite audience. Once you find an audience that works, that's affordable, that you're getting less than a penny or a penny per engagement, which is super ridiculously cheap. Penny per engagement. And I'm telling you, the time I upload this, penny per engagement is absolutely still viable, possible. I can create a penny per engagement ad today, right now. I guarantee I can do it. Time is of the essence, but this is still very valid information. Once you get that audience that gives you your penny per engagement, absolutely hammer that audience with different ads all day. Whatever you want to do from there, you got your audience, and then you try to find a different audience from there. Keep testing it out with that same method, the $3 per day, 3 ads for a couple of days, until you find a second audience that pops that way, and so on, and you can just grow it out from there. Fifth and final tip: kill any ads that have a relevance score of less than 8. It's a rule of thumb more than it is absolute tip or like law. But typically, anytime I create one of these Instagram-y ads for engagement, if it's not an 8, 9, or 10 in relevance, what's the point when I have a backlog of 20 or 30 ads that are 8, 9s, and 10s? So why would I run a 7 when I can run a 10? I can just take that same money and run it behind the 10 that I already have. You want to keep learning, you want to keep trying new ads and stuff, but kill anything that's below an 8, because there's just no point in keeping that going. It goes without saying, but if you don't understand this, Facebook rewards you for serving up ads that people like to an audience that likes them. So if you're doing the work for them of matching your content, delivering really good content to an audience that really likes that content, they reward you by not charging you nearly as much for the ad. And so it's really, really important for you to do the work like I've described, all the testing and stuff and all the creativity that goes into it, so that Facebook likes you, because that's kind of important, and so that you don't end up paying extra money for just because you're serving up lazy ads. There's no reason for that. There's no excuse for that. Just make your ads better by testing and trying stuff and being creative and using like the right tools. All right, so if you guys enjoyed this video, smack the like button. Let me know. Comment down below if you have new questions, and that might become new videos. If you're a small business owner and you want some help, I will literally give you some one-on-one consultation, whatever. We can just get right into your ads manager and take a look and see how we can improve it. That will be 100% free. I don't charge for that. I just want to help. So let me know. My email address will be in the description. Subscribe. I have another video on Facebook ads coming, and I think it's going to be based around one specific tip that I left out of this one, not to be sneaky or weird, but because I just thought it was so freaking important. It has to do with building that funnel that I talked about at the beginning of the video. So subscribe if you want to make sure you catch that video later. Guys, I hope you enjoy the content. This is a new thing for me. It's really fun, and that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and admit that I filmed this in my pajamas. I put on a t-shirt, but I didn't put on the bottom half, and now you guys know. Okay, goodbye. See ya.